It was revealed today that Yuta Watanabe, who we already knew wasn't going to stay with the Raptors, had actually signed with the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm confused how he got that contract. So Yuta Watanabe is a little bit of a fan favorite. We all loved Yuta Watanabe, especially in that Tampa season, where Raptors were crap, and we were really using players like him to kind of see what they could bring. And I liked him in that Tampa season. I thought that, he's a guy who could have been a better shooter, but he was a good shooter. And from a defensive standpoint, he was a very highly intelligent defender. I always thought he occupied the right spaces. He had active hands. And it wasn't about steals and blocks for him. It was about disrupting space. And sometimes the player that he was guarding didn't even get the ball because of the great work he did defensively. And that's just as good as a stop and as a block and as a steal and everything. Your player doesn't even get the ball to begin with, which is great. And I felt like I noticed these things about him. And I was hopeful for the season that we just saw for Yuta Watanabe to really take a step in the next direction for the Raptors and be a serviceable rotation player every day. Nick Nurse said it best going into the season. He said, Utah's three-point shot is great. We need it to be scary, and he's going to work on doing that. And that's what we needed, because Yuta, again, he's a solid defender. He hustles out there. He tries to make every play, but we need him to really hit that shot consistently for him to be getting consistent minutes. And one of the things I also felt like he needed to do was be more aggressive, get to the rim a bit more often, get that field goal percentage up by taking some more high percentage shots. And I was hopeful going into this season he'd be able to do these things, but defense I thought regressed. And I think maybe he looked good because we were in the tank mode. And his three-point shot, it just fell off a cliff. I was just watching, all of these shots he was making last season, he's just not making the shots this year. He's just straight up not hitting the shots this year for this team. And as a result, he never got playtime unless it was garbage time. And I can't really argue with that. But Shams revealed on Twitter today, as he does, that Yuta Watanabe has signed with the Brooklyn Nets. I said at the end of the season I'd be surprised if Yuta comes back and the Raptors just kind of let him walk in free agency. I thought it was the right decision to make. We found some talented players here. Some other guys maybe deserve an opportunity. But signed with the Brooklyn Nets of all teams. And he is a bit of a fan favorite. He signed with the Brooklyn Nets, like I said. Shout out to him. I like the fact that we let him go. I didn't think there was any space for him on this team. But again, shout out to him. He's a nice guy. I really wanted him to succeed here, but ultimately that just didn't quite materialize. And, we had to look for options elsewhere. We were so desperate to find the shooter that was going to be on our bench for the previous season. And we just never got it. We had Yuta who could do it, and we signed Fee. We're like, wow, there's going to be a little bit of competition here for the bench shooter. And then neither of them could shoot the basketball well. And we didn't end up using either of them, and our bench suffered as a result of not having the player that either of them were supposed to be. But shout out to him. That Tampa season, he did enough to earn himself a solidified spot in the NBA, I suppose, because he was kind of doing some things here and there with the Memphis Hustle in the G League. Earned himself a contract with the Raptors. He works hard, and I guess the Brooklyn Nets have seen something here. Maybe it's a team in Brooklyn that doesn't have the best defenders, doesn't have the hustle, and Yuta Watanabe can provide these things to the Brooklyn Nets sporadically. I don't think he's going to get a ton of play time, but sporadically can offer these things. 6'9", decent wingspan. Maybe he can be working on that three-point shot to get that to a better level, but shout out to him. Did want to kind of look at what he accomplished with the Raptors, what we're going to be missing, if we're going to be missing anything here. So going to his stats, yeah, like I said, he was with the Memphis Hustle, barely got any time in the NBA. But with the Raptors, especially in this Tampa season, he actually started 4 games. And he started 4 games this year, wow. He started 4 games, shot 40% from 3, which is great. got 3 rebounds a game in like only 14.5 minutes. Like these were decent numbers that we could build off of, and we were expecting him to improve going to the season. You know, he was 26 that season, so you know, he's not super young, but we were expecting him to make improvements, get the shot better. But again, like I said, he really fell off a cliff with his shot, fell to 34%. And maybe his opportunities were a little bit more limited, and he had a lot of DNPs. But I always maintain, like, if a guy is playing well enough, he is going to get the play time. He is going to get those opportunities on the court. And in the case of Yuta Watanabe, he never earned those opportunities. And it wasn't like there was anybody keeping him out of the rotation. That spot as, like, the bench shooter was wide open for the taking, very apparently, all throughout the season. Nobody grasped it. He had opportunities to do so. But, like this guy, if we have a fast break and he's wide open for 3, you gotta make that shot at a much higher percentage than he was making them. You gotta be able to make those open 3s for us. That's what you're on the court for. Nick Nurse said you had to make that shot scary, and he just wasn't hitting those shots. I remember earlier on this season, he was getting done a bunch of playtime, and he just wasn't hitting those shots. And if he's not hitting those shots, and the defense isn't enough to make up for his offensive deficiencies, he's just not going to get playtime. And it just is as simple as that. It is just as simple as that. So all the best to him. New York are getting a guy who's going to hustle. Maybe a team out there that doesn't have a ton of those hustle type of players. Again, I don't think he's going to get a lot of play time, but, you know, congrats to him. Not a lot of Japanese players get to the NBA. I think there's 2 in the league right now. Rui Hachimura, Yuta. I believe there's only been 1 other Japanese player in NBA history. Shout out to him, making his country proud, making Raptors fans proud. You know, we like him. He's the chosen one. That's his nickname. Even check Basketball Reference for that one. I wish him, again, all the best playing in Brooklyn. But as far as his Raptors career, it left a little bit to be begging. It really did leave a little bit to be begging because, like I said, he was impressive in that Tampa season. I know a lot of guys looked impressive there, but this was a guy we really believed in could be a part of the rotation. Maybe not the top 9, but like a 10th or 11th guy in the rotation. We truly felt like, as Raptors fans, this was a player that could help us win basketball games at a consistent rate with his defense and his 3-point shooting. That didn't happen. So what he needs to do, he needs to understand, he's got the IQ. He's a smart player. He can play defense. What he needs to do is just take tons of 3s in the offseason. Get that 3-point shot to the scary level that Nick Nurse wanted you to get to. Get to that level. That is where you're going to be consistently contributing at an NBA level. Because your smarts only get you so far if you don't have the athleticism. Your smarts get you so far. A lot of players in the league are smart players. You got to have that thing that makes you a consistent player in this league. At the moment, he does not have that thing. Truthfully speaking, I wasn't sure he'd even get another NBA contract. I thought he would really struggle to get an NBA contract, but props to him and his agent for getting it done. Getting it done with a team as talented on paper as the Brooklyn Nets. We could talk about the off-paper things on court and the dysfunction within that team, and KD asking to either trade me or fire Steve Nash, and then Brooklyn, Joe Tsai saying no. Whole fiasco of that team. But Yuta Watanabe is going to be a part of it all. And I'm going to be rooting for him. I'm going to be rooting for him to see how he does. I'm going to be rooting for him to succeed because he's a fan favorite, like we said. We want him to succeed. We want him to do well. But it's just fortunately not going to be with the Raptors. So this was something I recorded on my Twitch stream that I do live every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk about the Raptors in the NBA. If you're watching this on YouTube on Amateur Hour Clips, you can check out those streams with a link in the description, or you can continue to watch the best highlights from those Twitch streams on YouTube by subscribing to this channel. We're getting really close to 1,000 subs on the Amateur Hour Clips channel. You can help us get there and get a ton of great Raptors and NBA content in return, as well as post-game shows for every single Raptors game during the season. You can also like this video to help it reach some new viewers, get some more support to the channel, get some more support to this video, and hope to see you at the next stream or at the next video.